100 amazing facts around the world.
The smallest country in the world is the Vatican, which only has 0.22 square miles. President George W. Bush was a head cheerleader in high school. The world's first electronic computer was the ENIAC. It was constructed in Pennsylvania in 1946. The press called it giant brain because it was calculating 2,400 faster than a human being. Rats can't vomit. This makes them particularly vulnerable to poison. For the longest recorded successful sniper shot of 2,475 meters, the bullet took 6 seconds to reach its target. May 29th is officially Put a Pillow on Your Fridge Day. Chirophobia is the irrational fear of fun or happiness. If you lift a kangaroo's tail off the ground, it can't hop. One day on Mars lasts for 24 hours and 39 minutes. Rock, paper, scissors originated in China about 2,000 years ago. The larvae of the pork tapeworm, hatched from eggs eaten in infected pork, can travel around the body and live in the brain, eyes, heart, or muscles. Sapphires are the second hardest gem after diamonds. At 5.5 million square miles, the Antarctic Polar Desert is the world's largest desert. A polar bear's fur isn't white. It is transparent and appears white only because it reflects visible light. Bamboo is the fastest growing plant. Bamboo can grow 35 inches in a day. At 8,200 feet deep, Kings Canyon in California is the deepest canyon in the United States. Goats can develop accents. Researchers found that a goat's accent changes as they age and move in different groups. This disproves the idea that their voices are entirely genetic and suggests that most mammals can develop an accent from their surroundings. The largest tigers in the world live in Siberia. There was an orangutan named Fu Manchu who was repeatedly able to escape from his cage at the Henry Dorley Zoo in Nebraska. It was found that he was using a key that he fashioned out of a piece of wire. Mark Zuckerberg has signed the Giving Pledge, a campaign created by Warren Buffett and Bill Gates which encourages wealthy people to contribute a majority of their wealth to philanthropic causes. Uranus has 13 rings. They are mostly made of ice. They were probably created when one of Uranus' old moons was destroyed by a comet or asteroid. In North Korea, it is currently the year 109 because their calendar is based on the birth of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea. The Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench is the deepest point in Earth's oceans that we know of at 10,994 meters. Dust mites are found in all houses. They eat the dead skin we shed all the time, and live in beds, carpets, rugs, and anywhere else snug which collects flakes of skin. The highest temperature ever recorded on Earth was El Azizia on September 13, 1922, at 136 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is longer than the first 3 books is because author J.K. Rowling made a plot hole halfway through and had to go back and fix it. Doctors with messy handwriting kill more than 7,000 people and injures over 1 million people each year due to receiving the wrong medication. Banging your head against a wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories. Russia sold Alaska to the USA for just $7.2 million in 1867. Due to inflation rate, this equals approximately $111 million in 2017. Bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun. Snakes are able to predict earthquakes. If you fall off a very high cliff or building, the fastest speed you will ever fall at is around 200 kilometers per hour. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is now 2,000 times the size of New York City, and growing rapidly. There have been several reported cases of people dying from laughter, including Greek philosopher Chrysippus, who died from laughing too hard at his own joke about a donkey eating figs and drinking wine. An 8-year-old Taiwanese girl had an 8-foot 6-inch tapeworm growing inside of her gut after eating sushi. Fever is your body's immune response to viruses and bacteria, in an attempt to cook them and prevent them from reproducing as quickly. Abracadabra is based loosely on the Hebrew phrase, "I will create as I speak," and the Aramaic phrase, "I create like the word." In 2019, a lost continent was found. Greater Adria is located in the Mediterranean region and was discovered by researchers at Utrecht University. Water can boil and freeze at the same time when at certain pressures. The city of New York paid $5 million in 1853 for the land that is Central Park, which is now worth $530 billion. Crows often hold grudges against specific people. The oldest "your mom" joke was discovered on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. 2 infectious diseases have been successfully wiped out: smallpox and rinderpest. 7% of American adults believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. There are fewer public libraries in the United States than there are Starbucks. The first child to be born in the colony on the territory of the modern USA was Virginia Dare. She was born in 1587. Nothing else is known about Virginia's fate, as the settlement disappeared very soon, and it is known in the history as the Lost Colony. Approximately 35 million Americans are directly descended from the 102 Pilgrims who came over to America on the Mayflower in 1620. The smallest state in the USA is Rhode Island, which also has the longest name. Its full name is the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Maine is the only one of the 50 U.S. states that has one-syllable name. The world's first long-lasting light bulb was created by an American, Thomas Edison, in 1879. A chain of craters on a planet's surface is known as a catena. The Nile crocodile rolls and squeezes her eggs in her mouth to help her hatchlings emerge. Lydia Taft, a distant relative of President William Howard Taft, was the first woman to vote in America in 1756. The core of the Earth is made of iron and nickel. Even thought a core is 5,500 degrees, the iron is solid, not liquid. In January 2015, the 3 moons, Io, Europa, and Callisto lined up perfectly in front of Jupiter to form a triple solar eclipse. This won't happen again until 2032. There is a hurricane on Saturn that has been raging since at least 2013. The hurricane is 12,500 miles across. That's 20 times larger than any recorded hurricane on Earth. Even the eye of the hurricane is 1,250 miles across. The wind in this hurricane moves at 300 miles per hour. Uranus has 27 moons. They are named after characters created by William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. It takes Pluto 248 years to travel around the Sun. A British Airways air sickness bag from 1996 has instructions in 11 languages, which is a record. More than 200 types of different organisms live inside or on your body at any time. Only 9% of all plastic waste ever produced has been recycled. All the giant pandas in the world are owned by China. This means that any giant panda seen in a zoo around the world is actually on loan from China. Oprah's birth name was Orpah, named after the sister of Ruth in the Bible. She changed it because so many people got it wrong. Beethoven began losing his hearing at the age of 28, so he cut the legs off of his piano so he could compose music by feeling the vibrations of the piano on the floor. The first CD to be pressed in the USA was Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Before the book Peter Pan was written, the name Wendy was considered to be a man's name. Later, it became a popular girl's name. In Switzerland, it is illegal to own just one guinea pig. Pteronophobia is the fear of being tickled by feathers. When diarrhea turns pale, it contains bits of the lining of your gut. Eagles can hunt down a young deer and fly away with it. The still beating hearts of live cobras are eaten as a delicacy in Vietnam. It takes 3.2 minutes for the sun's light to reach Mercury. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they were called trailers. Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. Its surface temperature is 460 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt lead. The first major European colonization of the American continent began with Columbus' expedition in 1492. Approximately 25 million adult Americans are still living at home with their parents. Mary Stuart, Queen of England from 1553 to 1558, had 274 people burned at the stake just for being Protestant Christians. A common way of attacking a besieged castle or city in the Middle Ages was to catapult dead animals, corpses, or even the heads of enemies over the walls. In the Masai Mara in Africa, people drink blood drained from the neck of a live animal with a straw, mixed up with milk. Indians bury salmon eggs in a jar for 90 days and eat them when they are truly rotten. If you multiply 111,111,111 by 111,111,111, it gives the magical, mathematical result of 12,345, 678, 987, 654, 321. In Japan, Nestle has introduced over 200 different flavors of Kit Kat since 2000, including ginger ale, soy sauce, creme brulee, green tea, and banana. One of the top vasectomy doctors in Austin is named Dick Chop. When howling together, no two wolves will howl on the same note. Instead, they actually harmonize to create the illusion that there are more of them than there actually are. Emperor penguins can dive to 1,850 feet underwater, which is deeper than any other bird, and can stay under for over 20 minutes. Steve Jobs once gave a secretary a brand new Jaguar after she told him that she was late because her car wouldn't start. Brazil has 49 prisons with no guards, where a system of self-rule among inmates has proved a success. These prisons are cheaper to run, have lower rates of recidivism, and are designed to benefit the wider community. There are no mosquitoes in Iceland. Most Korean people don't have armpit odor. Polar bears could eat as many as 10 penguins in a single sitting. Car manufacturer Volkswagen makes sausages. In Taiwan, garbage trucks play music to remind people to bring out their trash, kind of like an ice cream truck. In Vatican City, every person drinks an average of 105 bottles of wine a year, more than any other country in the world. If we were able to capture just 0.1% of the ocean's kinetic energy caused by its tides, we would be able to satisfy the current global demand for energy 5 times over. Cornell University discovered that the tiger beetle runs so fast, it can no longer see where it's going. It actually has to use its antennae to avoid obstacles. The original London Bridge is now in Arizona. J.K. Rowling's inspiration for the Deathly Hallows symbol was the square and compass Freemasonry symbol, as she had seen it in the film, The Man Who Would Be King. During your lifetime, you will produce enough saliva to fill 50 bathtubs. The full coastline of Lake of the Woods in Minnesota and Canada is 25,000 miles long, which is roughly the circumference of Earth. If Pinocchio said, "My nose will grow now," it would create a paradox.
World Top 20.
Thanks for watching.
For more videos, please like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel.
We wish you a fruitful day ahead.
And remember, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end.